Yeah. I'm on it as well. Yeah, we're going now. Yeah. Hey, good, isn't it?
What's that big black thing?
Forklift. Right, let's stop it now. On the 22nd of August last year, Olivia Pratt Korbel was shot dead inside her home. Olivia had been dragged into a feud that had nothing to do with her. And this week, Thomas Cashman has been found guilty of her brutal murder. Thomas said in court that he was a high-level drug dealer in the local area and made between £3,000 to £5,000 a week selling cannabis. But the court would then hear about the chilling CCTV that documented the shootout that led to the murder of Olivia Korbel. During the trial, they said that Cashman lay in wait for Joseph Nee and he was armed with 2 guns and he intended to shoot him after he'd finished watching a football match at a friend's house that was on Finch Lane. When Thomas left the address with another person called Paul Abraham, the gunman approached them and opened fire with the semi-automatic Glock. CCTV that was shown in court reveals Mr. Abraham running for his life as 2 loud bangs ring off. Joseph Nee was shot in the midriff area and he stumbled to the floor. The prosecution then revealed that Cashman had murder on his mind and he stood over Joseph and attempted to fire again, as Joseph begged him, "Please don't lad." But it so happened to be that the gun malfunctioned and Joseph was able to escape. Cashman, however, continued the pursuit and he fled into the Korbel family home. Olivia's mother Cheryl was alarmed by the gunshot that she heard outside and she stepped out to see what was going on. This is when Joseph Nee came running towards her, followed by Cashman, who was dressed in all black and had his face covered. She then attempted to stop Joseph from getting inside the house, but she was unable to fully close the door and it was left on the latch. The assailant then fired another shot from his backup weapon, which was a .3 caliber revolver, and this was the shot that went through the door, went through the wrist of Olivia's mother and then hit her in the chest. The schoolgirl was upstairs in bed and she said, "Mummy, I'm scared," as she ran down to the bottom of the stairs, and that is when the bullet came through the door and hit her. The prosecution would then focus on making Thomas's character look as bad as possible by showing every single person that he had dealings with and brought drugs from. Merseyside police revealed in a press conference that before Cashman's arrest, the 2 guns that he used were used in other incidents. A Glock 9mm semi-automatic was linked to 2 previous shootings, one on the 27th of January 2020 when a 19-year-old male was injured in Dovecot, and the second was on a playing field on Ackers Hall Avenue that was around the corner from Olivia's home on August the 8th. So this was 2 weeks before she was shot. The police said that both incidents the gunman fired indiscriminately at 2 rival groups, and one of the targets they believed was Joseph Nee, and they also considered Cashman as a suspect in the second shooting. Thomas was trying to portray himself to the jury as a loving father, a family man, and also engaged to his childhood sweetheart, Kaylee Ann Sweeney, who attended court every single day, dressed like she thought she was a footballer's wife. But it was revealed in court that Thomas was having an affair on her with a woman who was associated with one of his own criminal friends. She told the court that Cashman had a small penis and thought he was a gangster, and he turned up to her home on the 22nd of August after the murder and had his head in his hands, and she had no idea what was going on. She also told the court that they made reference to him saying, "I got Joey, I got Joey." The evidence was very damning against Cashman, and this contributed a lot to his conviction later on.
Show your on! Get your hands behind you, Dad!
My hands are in the air.
What's your leg, fella?
I've got nothing on me.
Put your hands behind your head.
Okay, there you go. Well.
Stay where you are. Do exactly what you've told. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Nice one. Come here. Put him in the small of your back. Don't worry about it, you'll be spoken to in a minute. Just do exactly what you've told.
He's got a good stitch and me up here for fucking swat or whatever it is. What's it for? Go on. What have we done? What have we done?
Tell you now.
Go on.
Put your knees up to your chest. Put your knees up to your chest. Sit on your arse. Stand up.
What have we done? Go on. You said you'll tell me. I'm not resisting. I ain't resisting one little bit. I just want to know what I've done. That's all. All I want to know is what I'm arrested for. Tell me what I'm arrested for. Okay.
You're under arrest on suspicion of murder and a suspicion of attempt murder twice. Alright, you do not have to say anything. But it may always defence, you don't mention when questioned. Something which you may later line in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Alright, you've been arrested for the prompt and effective investigation of the offence. Okay?
Yeah,
you need to be interviewed
I haven't
about
committed
it.
no offence. I haven't committed.
Inconsolable and heartbroken. I know that the murder of Olivia has rocked our communities, who are quite rightly upset and outraged that such an abhorrent crime has occurred here on the streets of Merseyside. The people of Liverpool and Merseyside are known for their compassion and pulling together in times of crisis. And I know that our communities, people are wanting to help the family in any way possible. This is not the time for anyone who knows who is responsible for this shooting to remain tight-lipped.
It took a jury only 9 hours to find him guilty of attempted murder, and also the shooting of Cheryl Korbel. He'll be sentenced next week and will be expected to receive at least several decades behind bars. This story shows the devastating reality of how innocent people far too often are caught in the crossfire of disputes between other people. And it definitely shows that unless you want to be remembered as somebody that has murdered a child, to definitely take more precautions, to not take these risks, and to try to do something better with your life. I want to send my condolences to the family of Olivia Korbel, and she was just a child and she didn't deserve anything like this, and I hope that she rests in peace.
It is time for our communities to come together with us and make Merseyside a place where the use of guns on our streets is totally unacceptable, and those who use them are held to account. Our thoughts and condolences are with Olivia's family, who have been torn apart. No mum, no dad, no sister or brother should ever have to experience loss in this way. Poignantly, Olivia was killed on the 15th anniversary of the murder of Rhys Jones. His murder should have been a watershed moment in the battle against gun crime and the use of guns on our streets. But shockingly, there are still callous criminals who are prepared to use weapons on our streets and have utter disregard for the heartache and the pain that they have caused to Olivia's family. At 10 p.m. last night, our officers were called to Olivia's home on Kingsheath Avenue, and when we arrived, we found 3 people who'd been injured, including Olivia and her mum. It is believed that one of the injured parties, a 35-year-old man, was being chased by a man armed with a gun, who was firing at him. The man being chased forced his way into Olivia's house, and the offender ran in after him, firing a number of shots with complete disregard for Olivia and her family, who had no connection with the gunman or the man who forced his way in. Sadly, Olivia was fatally wounded when the gunman fired at the man who was trying to get into the house, and her mum also suffered a gunshot to her wrist. The 35-year-old man had been chased, suffered a number of gunshots to his upper body. Whilst Olivia lay dying, he was picked up by his friends who took him to hospital. On arrival, our officers could see just how poorly Olivia was, and they rushed her to Alderhay Children's Hospital, where despite the best efforts of medical staff, she sadly died, and her mum was taken to hospital by colleagues from the North West Ambulance Service. This is a shocking and appalling attack, which will reverberate around our communities. And I want to take this opportunity again to appeal to anybody who knows who is responsible for this attack to please come forward and give us those names. We need to find all who are responsible for this, not just the gunman. We need to find out who supplied the weapon and who arranged this terrible incident. Forensic experts are at the scene at this moment in time, conducting house-to-house inquiries have taken place, and officers are reviewing CCTV footage to establish and identify who is responsible. We will not rest until those who are responsible are put behind bars.